Well, hello everybody. My name is Chris Gibbons. I'm your instructor for this course in Practical Skills for the Healthcare Manager. And welcome to Module 3. So I want to address kind of a couple things in this video. So the first thing is, what is this video? So now that we're kind of done for the first 2 weeks of the course, what I would like to do for the remainder 2/3 of the course is really have these weekly update videos in here. So look for these to appear every Monday, or pretty close to Monday. And I'd ask a favor of you. Before you jump into the class and start doing your quizzes and other assignments, that you make sure that you watch these videos. Because if we do have any updates or changes to the course, I'm going to put them in here. And if we do change anything, we always change to your advantage. So we might eliminate an assignment, or we might clarify something that I completely messed up and made it unclear. So again, they're really designed to make your life a little bit easier. So make sure that you watch these videos. All right, so a little bit about the class. I think you guys have got a great handle on what's going on here. The flow that you've seen, heavy on these kind of, I guess, low-level quizzes. They're very easy to master, these quizzes. But just make sure that you are doing those and getting all the points. And then we usually have some other assignment, and might be a threaded discussion that does get changed up a little bit over time. But for the most part, you have these quizzes that will be a good chunk of the points. Let's jump in here. Let's minimize my picture here so we can see a little bit about the flow of the course. Oh, and before we jump into that, now that I see what I've just posted in here, check out the video below. I think it's a great 5-minute listen about a concept that I believe in. And I think you as managers and leaders, it's definitely worth a 5-minute listen to hear about this concept called a lanager. But it really just makes absolute common sense when you hear it, and you'll hopefully, when you hear her explain this concept, you go, yeah, all of the good leaders and managers that I've had in my career have been this type of person. And hopefully you are always moving yourself in that direction as well. So, and the training never stops in our leadership and management fundamentals. All right, so take a quick listen, watch of that YouTube video below. Not going to be quizzed or tested on it, but I thought it was very powerful and, I don't know, resonated with me. Okay, so a little bit about the class. Again, we're talking about the structure. Let me move my picture here off altogether. And with the modules, again, we have the typical quizzes, and then usually some sort of threaded discussion. One thing that came up, I did have somebody email me about, can you work ahead? Absolutely, you can work ahead in the course. Just remember that if you are working ahead and we do have those threaded discussions, make sure you go back and do the 2 peer responses. Let me just take a moment about how to get an A in this course. It is very hard, I should say, not to get an A in this course. Do the assignments, do your quizzes, do your discussions, and those are kind of the easy points. Collect all of the easy points. The harder points, will come along, especially towards the end. Well, not even harder. It's it's all designed to be very achievable for everybody to get an A in this class. But what you don't want to do is let the easy points go away. So there's always, usually one student who just, missing some quiz grades, and all of a sudden they went from an A to a B. So make sure you grab all of the easy points, the ones that you know that you can lock in. As far as, I'll scoot to the very end here and talk about our final, I guess, capstone presentation. And that one is going to be worth quite a few points, about 200 points. However, it's very achievable, and you're going to work on it over 2 different modules, and it's going to be a VoiceThread assignment. If you're not familiar with VoiceThread, it's our way here at the college. It's our kind of approved technology for video presentations that students do. So if you think about the old-fashioned, I'm sure some of you back in high school, you had to do the oral presentation and stand in front of the class and do that thing. So this is a way for you to capture that on video. We could use YouTube and other things, but the sanctioned, approved application for this, and YouTube, you can make them private. But this one's, again, it's a private video server, and it's a great way for you to capture, this presentation. Now, what is the presentation going to be on? You are going to pick select chapters as you go through. So I guess what I would like you to think about now is as you're reading and going through the textbook, you may want to mark those chapters that you feel resonate with you, because you'll be presenting on, I think it's 6 of them. Don't correct me, it's either 5 or 6. You will pick and I do believe it's 6. You'll pick the 6 chapters that resonate with you, and then you'll present on those. So, and I'll give you more information on that. But right now, just kind of think, ooh, this was a great chapter. It links directly with what I do at work. Mark that one that you want to do that. So that's the only thing I'd keep in the back of your mind right now as you're kind of going through the course. So going back to my original topic, how do you get an A? Do all the low-hanging fruit assignments. Make sure you get them in. I do accept late work. I don't think anybody has any late work right now. I'll double check that. But I do accept late work. There is a slight deduction on points to be fair to the people that turned it in on time. But the thing that you don't want is a 0 in the grade book. So make sure you get all of those points in. And especially when we get to that key assignment that's worth 200 points. It comes in a couple different chunks, but one of those chunks is like 150 points. And if I go to grade it on that Monday morning and it's not there, you've already dropped down into B territory. I mean, 150 points off 1,000 points in the course brings you to 850. So that's putting you right at that, kind of low B area for us. So, but again, very achievable to get an A. Make sure you get all of those assignments in. All right, the last thing I want to touch on is how to get a hold of me. So some of you have already reached out to me through email, which is fine, absolutely. But you also have, if you have a short form question, a great way to do it is just text me. I've given that phone number out to thousands of people, literally probably thousands of people over the 17 years that I've been here. It's a great way to get a quick answer. Hey, Chris, I'm going to be late on an assignment. I'm going to be late on whatever. Hey, thanks for the heads up. Look forward on Wednesday. Something like that. Or, hey, can you clarify this on the assignment? I can usually get back to you within minutes. Now, with email, it's a little bit slower. Throughout the business day, I check it. I really don't check email at home. So I rely on text messaging. So, if you put something in the email at, maybe 4 o'clock and I've already gone through my end of day email run, then you're not going to get an answer until, tomorrow morning. So, and on the weekends, the email's even slower. So, however, text message always works great, especially for those short order questions. So, all right. So that pretty much covers it. Look for these announcements again every week to show up in there. Make sure you do watch them. They'll hopefully make your life a little bit easier as we finish the last 2/3 of the course. And that's pretty much it for this week. And I will check in with you next Monday. Have a great week.